This conference will now be recorded.
And I also would say, if she doesn't go, could she send an email to the people she already knows that think they're gonna be there and say, if you have something, you shoot me an email offline. So you're still connecting with them, you're just not rubbing elbows.
I see a job fair on there. Is that one that she's attending somewhere? Or what is that?
I thought I saw it out there too.
Yes, she made up pamphlets. There's a upcoming job fair. I don't recall where exactly it is, but she's hoping to use that as a recruitment opportunity for officers.
$1,000 a job fair. Just
That's what it is, too.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
There's
Could
pens
it be
and
putting something on the
and stuff like
website?
that.
What's the supply? Commercial
Yeah.
supply.
I think when I stopped in here, I think it's at the Mankato College, one of the colleges over there, so she made it sound like.
Well, MSU's got a pretty robust law enforcement program, so that's good. But what's promotional supply mean?
What's the badges, like badges on the uniform?
Yeah.
Money gloves too.
And
Believe
they
so.
do cost a lot, but when they're
They
stuff
are
with uniforms, it is expensive.
Make a motion to accept the PD report.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, care center report. Bob is out as well. On that.
All right. So it looks like the December average census was 33.94, down from the annual average by 2. Currently, they have 34 people in there as of Thursday. Few referrals, fewer capable move-ins. I guess it's part of the Christmas holiday. So yeah, they're not able to accommodate people with behavioral needs accounts for some of the turned off referrals. Looks like they were negative for the month of November, considerably.
Yeah, December
Yeah,
financials.
yeah. Decreased Medicare residents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having to give that increase.
Mhm.
I mean, Could he did some now and not all of it at once?
Yeah, that's 40 grand.
40 grand right there.
Hopefully that'll pan out to be better by keeping people for a longer period.
And get rid of the rest of that agency stuff, because he's got that
And
way
then
down
in the
now.
long run, it'd be a good idea.
It's painful to get there though.
Yeah. Nobody wants to put money out, right?
Make a motion to accept the care center report.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. People service, Joe. Can Ori go for the
Absolutely.
electrical part? Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks for coming, Ori.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, if you don't know me, I'm Fort Anthony. Straight River Electric. And done some electrical maintenance up at the water plant for a few years now, and trying to just kind of be here as like a, definitely not a salesman, or like a informational on this stuff. All right, so this first estimate is for a new heater in the implement building, which is the building where all the raw sewage comes in immediately. That's the first place that it goes. So that building is like being inside of a, like a holding tank or septic system, basically. Go in there, everything has to be wired explosion proof, or what we call intrinsically safe wiring, which would mean that it can't really cause an arc. Basically, you can't have a heater in there that's just your regular garage heater. You can't have an open flame in there because could explode. So we have to have a pretty expensive, big explosion-proof electric heater, and they're not cheap. So that is, and the reason we brought this up is because the last 2 years I've had to go there and the heater has not been working. It's gotten out on high limit, which means it's gotten too hot. And what I found is the motor for the fan is bound up and not spinning due to the corrosion inside the windings. So all I've done is force the fan blade, turn the power off and force the fan blade forward a few revolutions. Got to knock the rust off, and knock on wood, it's been working the last 2 years like that. So we can either replace the whole heater, which it probably should be done, or we probably get by and just fix, the root cause of the problem with replacing the motor. This isn't something that needs to be done right now, but I would say this summer would be a pretty good idea. You have any questions on that or anything I can make more? Yeah. Okay.
The original?
I think so.
So will that heater if we bought a new heater, will that get corroded as well just because of environment? Or
I don't
are they
believe-
coated differently now?
So there is an issue with that building. That building has an exhaust fan that's supposed to run a lot of the time, most of the time, right? All the time. 24/7?
When I started, they hadn't ran it in years. So I had it fixed. If you remember, I had that fixed. So because you have to have fresh air in there, but then you have to have the heater on. So I had it fixed, but years too late. But I
So-
wasn't here.
So with the fresh air intake working correctly, we should be able to get, more years out of it. Sure, it's there.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. I'm just thinking, spending $5,700 on something that's older, as old as us, some of us, or almost as old. How much life is left in that? It's a roll of the dice, yeah.
Right, yeah. So, you can replace the motor now and if, money, grants you, I don't know how the money part works, I guess, but if you plan for future, you replace the motor to get by for 2-3 years for sure, more than likely, I would guess. I can't guarantee it. But then maybe they have a better plan in place in the future to, put a little more money into it.
The part that you're having to kind of move and then shut the power off, move, replacing that motor would fix that, or would that still potentially happen?
It would fix that problem, that particular problem. The reason I gave a quote for the entire heater is because the rest of it isn't exactly in the best condition either. So I would say the immediate problem is the motor, spend the $5,795. It's an estimate, it's not exact. And that would buy you a few years, more than likely.
Well, I'm understanding, putting a new fan in, you wouldn't have that high limit shut off then, because it's cooling it down, then it isn't getting too hot.
Right, yeah, we won't have the issue with it going, stopping on its own. Any more on that one? That's kind of the big ticket item there, I guess, for sure. Go to the next one. Okay. So these two are for motor starters. Well, this is just one. It's 2 options that you have here. This was flagged by a third party, right? This is like Minnesota Pump or something. I don't know the company's name, I guess.
Yep.
Saying that a motor starter for a pump, which is just a automatic switch to turn the pump on, you have, like, you're familiar with a grain bin setup, you may have a disconnect to turn the motor on. Well, this just starts the motor automatically by pressing a button. It's a older style starter, they're a little more expensive. But this was flagged by a third party, and I'm not exactly sure what the reasoning was. Is it just
It
doesn't-
shuts off.
shuts off on its own?
The floats, it's in the lifts, the lift station is what the floats run now. So it'll tell it when to come on and off. Well, then it throws the alarm and then then that motor doesn't work at all. So I have to run it by hand.
Didn't you explain it further down in the thing here? Is that the one where the float can get stuck with crap in it and this tips? take
That's
care of
for
it?
a
There's
different.
probably
Okay, for
another
different, all
one.
right.
Yeah, there's many on there.
Okay.
There's a few.
We'll get there.
So the two options are for a brand new one, for the higher price of 1,230.26. Or I have a few that I salvaged from another job that I would say are reliable. I think I have a lot of these at my shop, actually. So if I'll warranty it for, at least a year. If they use one of those valves, come back and put another one in for free. They are working great on some air handling units, building in Owatonna. Not a corrosive environment at all or anything like that. So, that's a must-have one. Well, I think that was on our must-have
Yeah.
list, so.
Must.
Any questions on that one? Okay. So this was also a third party, by the same company, telling Shell that this probably needs to be done. Having some issues with pump 3, which is basically, this is just a basic, really big lift station, like your sump pump at home. It's that, but way bigger, and with four pumps that all come on at different levels of which the water is rushing into that tank. So there's 4 pumps total. It usually runs on pump 1 and pump 2, which are small pumps, and she can alternate which pump starts first. Pump 3 and pump 4 come on, they're much bigger motors, and that basically means that you are having a rainstorm and she really needs to get the water out of there fast. We have it set up so that if the last pump actually comes on, it calls out, it'll call her and let her know that hey, pump 4 is on, like some really serious issues with the other pumps, or it's just raining really hard. So that being said, there's some issues with pump 3, and third party said that the wires might be bad going to it. So to test the insulation and integrity of the wire, we do what's called a mega ohm test, which basically putting a meter on it that sends some very high voltage through it. It gives me results on the amount of ohmage between the two wires. And it's below, if it's the ohms are below a certain level, then it fails and we need to pull the wires into that pipe. It doesn't happen very often. I've only heard of it happening on motors and things like that, but it does happen. The problem is if it does fail and we need to get new wires in there, it'll probably be very difficult to pull new wires into that conduit. It's very old and runs underground. Typically they bend and break underground over time. And the wires kind of glue themselves together in those conduits. So that is.
So we don't want that.
We don't want that. We're hoping for none of that. We're hoping we don't need to trench a new line out there, I guess is the, but this price, this estimate just kind of covers the cost of figuring that out and pulling in new wires into that conduit if it's possible. It doesn't cover trenching new wires out there. So this one's kind of your fingers crossed. Hope it works. And then also test and verify that the alarm system activates when the pump 4 comes on, the last and final pump, and calls Shell, which I believe we set up to pump 4 is running for like 5 seconds or something. it's
Then it
supposed to tell you.
calls.
We've had some issues with that.
Yeah, it'll only do it every so many times. It's like it's got a glitch.
Okay,
Because we did really good on it. We get that, I had never had that before until we got it to work.
okay, yeah.
And then it.
Which is odd because I have it set up so that the wires are just, if that motor starter starts, we're probably getting too technical. Then motor starter starts, the wires are disconnected in there so that it'll make the call if that thing is pulled in. Any questions on that? This one's pretty straightforward. Shell had on certain pumps, there's an hour meter right on the motor starter cabinet, so then she has to report how many hours it's ran a month, right?
Just so you need it.
Yeah, so got meter, doesn't work.
Oh,
Yeah, nothing's cheap in automation.
That's the cheapest one.
that's the cheapest one.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Is that similar to an outer meter like on a tractor?
Yeah, basically, yep. Mhm. Yeah, it'll only take a half hour of labor to put that.
It's got a good price for
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this one's a little more, in that influent building where the raw sewage comes in at, it comes in basically a river channel that's in concrete down there. And in that channel, there are some flow sensors, which are exactly like the flow sensors in your, at your house in your sump pump. There's 2 of them right now. I think one's a backup, or one
We have
starts.
3. One quit working,
Okay,
so you put in a new one for me. Now that one quit working. So now neither of them will tell me if the influent channel is high.
okay. But it's
The
still-
other one's the
one-
bar
The
screen,
one that works turns the motor on.
for the bar screen.
Okay.
Yeah,
which
that one
is what we
works.
need to run if the level gets up. So what we're finding down there is there's a lot of sticks and debris and things like that, and things like that that come in there and eat those floats up. Or it creates a issue where it doesn't allow the float to come up and start the bar screen, which is, for the sake of this conversation, pump the pumps water. And Shell's we've kind of looked at this a few times over the years, and we're looking for a solution that is way more reliable than just floats. So what that is it's called a transducer, and you put that inside, it's a tube, more or less, that you put inside of the channel in the water, and it can sense by the water pressure, the height of the water in that channel, or you can put them in tubs or things like that too. And by water pressure, it'll tell you how high that is. So, however, when we put that transducer in, we need a readout for it up in the control station, and a different starter for the motor, for it to all work correctly and be intrinsically safe in that explosion-proof build.
So that eliminates all the mechanical movement of anything.
Right, yeah, it's static. Is what
Makes
we're
sense.
going for. There is also, for another job today, I was looking at a radar transmitter for a grain bin, which I was thinking maybe we could do something like that in this, so I could do a little bit more investigation in this and see if we can drive that cost down a little bit. Because it does say that it can work with liquids. I don't know how well it'll work with the liquids that are moving as fast as they are down there. But that might be another option that we could use for this application.
Shelley, is any of this stuff drop dead? You gotta do it right now?
I
I'm
don't
just
even
saying.
know what to tell you on that.
Okay. Other than something breaking?
My main one is the lift pumps have to work to make sure you guys don't flood.
Right.
So those are the biggest one, as long as that heater,
Which one of these is that?
that'd be the starter
Very
for,
first one?
the starter for pump
Wow.
two,
Second one.
the second one, and then the pump 3 and 4.
For the $1,600,
$1,600, what was the other dollar on
either the 500 or the
Oh,
1,230
yeah.
for the newer
it?
used.
The one where you could put a used part in and out,
Right.
or that's it, you have to.
See, and this is why I bought a camera to put on the graph, which I am up all night long or all day long watching that silly thing. Because if those floats don't turn on those pumps and that graph goes crazy, then you're gonna flood. So that's, I think, the hardest part of this whole thing is watching that graph on that camera. So, yeah, those are the, probably the biggest things, but that is to protect the city from flooding. So we've had flooding before.
Been a lot of neglect over there.
Well, I know it has.
Yeah,
Well, then I think we should do it the $500 one at first, and then that $1,600 one on the second estimate. And then we will be probably good for a little bit anyway, until we can figure out what he wants to do with the rest of the stuff. Because the third one, he said he wanted to maybe do the radar and maybe get it a little bit cheaper and a little bit easier to do. Instead of spending $1,500 for a new one, $500 one, he said it will replace it if it fails.
for the starter.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
And then do the $1,600 for this, what's, pump 3 and 4, or is it 1 and 4?
3 and 4.
That's
Three.
And then you're gonna have that, heater too, that you're gonna have to figure out by the summer, the way he makes it
Yes.
sound.
Well, I would
That
say,
gives us a-
I would say we put a fan on
See if
that,
there's any type
put the fan on and see if that helps us for time being.
Huh?
if there's any type of assistance that
Yeah,
a community can get on something like that.
And the influent floats that do not work, that is your influent high channel level, and that has an alarm to it. But if it doesn't work, the alarm doesn't go off. So that doesn't tell me when you guys are flooding.
So that was,
it comes
And
out,
that was number 4. Fourth one,
sort of down.
I think. Yeah, third was the meter, second was 3 and 4. Number 2 is the starter, 1 is the heater.
you're talking about the transducer one? Yeah.
Yeah.
The, right, this one,
5750.
That's when you're
Yeah.
talking about the radar or the pressure sensor, one is that?
right,
Transducer.
yeah, transducer, or I mean, it's not ideal to keep just replacing the floats down there, but I mean, we could replace the float and,
Right, and the electric
Get by.
piece through there.
But they're still mechanical, right? And they
Yeah,
could
it's
get
gonna be
stuck.
the exact
They could
same,
get stuck in
exact
the
same thing that's in there right now, but at least it'll give her the alarm, it'll work,
Oh,
it'll
gotcha.
give her the alarm.
Okay.
Cause all she has right now is just a float that turns on the motor and she doesn't know if that is.
When
on.
it
He put a brand new one in.
So, something should
It's
be
the
done.
electric on there. So
That's
pretty
been-
mine.
How long ago was that?
And that's in the channel, so that's been probably underwater more than not above water.
How old is that sensor?
Than floats and
For the
that
float, yeah.
electrical piece, probably since the beginning.
Okay.
Well, no, I mean, the one that I
Well, the one
replaced down
float
there,
you put in's new, but the electrical
That's been like-
quit.
3 years ago?
3 years on that float. The bar screen float and the other float, I'm sure probably just about dang near original.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had
Got
good
a lot of
life,
work on those, I guess.
but these are just 3 of the pumps and your lift pump wirings, your starters and the influent. I can't protect you any more than I can if they're not fixed.
Right.
So, it's kind of one of them things where I can only do so much. And I can't be there 24/7.
Nobody
Stop,
can.
Chad.
I got a couch somewhere. And sleeping bag.
What's this generator thing?
Generator
Oh,
transfer
transfer
switch.
Yeah,
So this
Where is
is,
this?
this is a doozy.
yeah, and it works, right? You haven't had it ever fail, it's never shattered.
Not yet, only that one time when we had to do some work on the inside of there.
With the,
The new,
with the battery voltage
new
level.
stuff, yeah,
So we've got that
yeah,
down, it
I
seems
think
like.
we've got that down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is from also from third-party GSS, Generating System Services, that they work on the generator and do the maintenance on it.
That's the new generator we bought a couple of years ago.
Right, yeah, but the transfer switch, is separate and is.
In the
original.
building,
In the building.
it's original.
So this is just a switch that if you lose power out there, it realizes that there's no power, starts the generator and then 5 seconds later, bam, you know, then you're on generator power.
Right.
I think the only reason he said that, he was like, wow, that's old. You know, I guess it's the,
Well, you've been in, I can't open it, but he can. look
yeah, I can
inside.
open it and see it.
You've had to do some stuff to it.
Yeah.
But it will be something that one day you
So
will
this-
have to.
The switch itself is 15,000, just the switch?
It's an automatic switch and
It's a big box.
It's math, yeah.
It's like a
I
big.
can't remember where that's at when I.
It's right in the corner.
It's
I
probably
wish
the
it
size of
was
your
in
podium,
there.
isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a big
So
one.
it's basically podium.
it's about this,
Right.
size, so a little bigger maybe.
I thought so.
Yeah, it's just an automatic big switch that switches really, really fast and really, really hard.
Well, it's got 3
Switches
days.
over to generator power. And this would be, yeah, it's 600 amp three phase. It's designed, that generator is designed to run the whole plant exactly as it is, without cutting anything out. So it's all heated. So that is to replace, basically the guts of that switch. I'm talking with the guy from GSS, he says that we can pull that out, put new guts in basically, put the new switch inside of that enclosure. And it should work great. But it does work right now. I mean,
So it's something we can kind of look into, not needing to be done right this moment, but to start looking into budgeting.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just looking.
This isn't even a this year thing, I don't think. I think it works fine.
Okay.
If it doesn't, if it fails, you can manually switch it. It's dangerous.
It's not ideal.
I-
Talk about a mousetrap.
Not to put the art
Shelley,
your
we'll
face
get you.
on there.
I don't like it that it's
We'll
in
get
the
you out of
office. So you're sitting about this far from it when that thing whams.
Yeah.
I mean, You almost feel.
It's a
your
lot
ears.
nice. I've seen them do
Like they say, it's dangerous, but you can do it. Shouldn't be doing it. That's purely from an insurance perspective.
it.
Oh, name me as a beneficiary, please.
I guess to add to this a little bit, we did notice that, the generator itself is not wired to code. I believe when they put it in, someone came and made it, the electrician made it work. Basically, so that might be something to, there's not open wires, I guess, but there's wires that are meant to be in conduit that are sleeved over the top of the generator itself and into the enclosure. So when they replace the generator, the new, where the wires came out of the ground that match up with where the new breaker was on the new generator. So maybe that would be something that we.
So are they out in the elements so that the sun? can-
They're not in the elements, the whole generator is enclosed.
Oh, okay.
It's just not,
It's supposed to
it's
be.
not legal.
Yeah.
It works great, but yeah, it's not right. So that might be something to.
How did that get passed?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that inspection?
Who's the inspection on it?
Yeah, there should be a sticker.
Cause that generator's not that old.
I was gonna say, the state.
I don't think a
came
permit
in.
was ever pulled for it. We could look it up online and.
Should have been, there was enough money, trust me.
Yeah, I mean, if
65,000,
they,
wasn't
89.
I can't imagine. an
But that's
inspector
something
sign
the
off on that.
electrician does.
The
right?
electrician pulls the
Should
permit,
have
you're
done it.
responsible for pulling
Yes.
your permit.
Yeah.
and
The
coordinating
state
inspection.
comes out
I
and
wouldn't
inspects
know
it.
if they pulled it or not, but yeah.
I don't remember.
They have to
that.
pass this on.
$89,000.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had to come up with it in 30 days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a big
well,
job.
we rented one
That,
for
yeah, we
Well,
rented
yeah, we
one
spent
for
three
a
65
while.
months.
We spent 65,000, wasn't it, on renting that generator to replace it?
Yeah.
Well, not replace, but just use in the meantime.
Mhm.
I said, oh my God. You get it, that's why the 30 days, I remember that now.
it would be nice to find out who
Elberly Electric wired it.
did.
Elberly
Albert
Electric.
Lee. So if he didn't turn it in, then no one would know to look at it, correct?
Right.
Like the state guy.
Right, it might have been, but we can look that, that's information, it's online. We can look that up on the Department of Labor and Industry.
There's another part in here, the water plant priority 2. Miscellaneous electric estimates, is that
Yeah.
just for
So this is just like for, yeah, future stuff or things that would be nice. Well, yeah. So I'll just read them off. Number one, boiler, the new boiler, which is 2 years old.
3,
Okay.
it's wonderful.
Boiler runs nonstop in the winter and overheats the main hallway. Install current transformer relay on circuit feeding hydronic unit, heater fans, and connect this is getting to me too.
He wants to put a switch on it.
Yeah, I wrote this, right? So basically that boiler, when we put it in, they told me to wire it so that there's just a switch there, so in the winter you turn the switch on and that means the boiler's always heating water. It's a big enough building. But so what we found happens is with that boiler always running, the hallway heats up very, like way too much. It's hot in there when you walk in, right?
115.
Right.
In the winter or?
It's a hot one in there.
Yeah. So those exposed pipes, yeah, it's just heating it up too much. So this 725 is basically a way for me to control the boiler so that it's only needed when it's called for. So there's fans, the water gets pumped to different fans with heat exchangers on that blows air across these heat exchangers that are heated up by the boiler. When those are just ran on a thermostat, the fan just turns on. So I have a way of sensing that with a current sensor inside of the panel. When one of those fans turns on, then we will tell the boiler, hey, it's time to start running now. So the boiler can shut down. I can't tell you exactly how much money it'll save you and when it'll be on.
Probably in a month.
I assume decently fast.
Yeah, if it's heating up 115 degrees all winter long.
Right.
In that hallway, is there any equipment in there that having it that hot could damage on top of it?
I got fans on it right now.
Okay. Then we're-
Puts your shovel to thaw the snow.
Yeah. So open up the door and the whole sidewalk falls
Melts
out.
out, yeah.
Number 2 is install 480 volt receptacles below disconnects for SO2 pumps. And
What's SO2 mean?
Sulfur dioxide.
Sulfur dioxide.
Install matching male ends on ports for simple connect disconnect for changing seasons. So there's a couple pumps that Shell drops down into a pit every year. And every year, either she or I has to hardwire those to the disconnects. Isn't really an ideal situation. If you're paying me for a service call, that's $230 a year for me to hook and unhook those. We put some just cord ends on them so she can plug them in. It's the one-time 580 deal. She can plug unplug all she wants after that.
I don't like personally wiring. I don't like electricity, but I had to do it and I don't like it.
Something that you
Fair.
do year in and year out.
I'm not
Make it
supposed to
last.
do that. The electrician's the only person supposed to be opening up
Well, especially 480
that.
volt.
When you
That's
get desperate.
Might help you curl your hair.
Yeah, no kidding. Maybe that's what's wrong.
only have to do it once.
Well, third on this list is, disconnect switches are not designed to be used to start and stop three-phase motors. They are meant to turn off power to the motor in emergency situation or to ensure power won't be turned on for maintenance. Install start, stop stations and cord connection point for SO2 pump and pump mixer. This will involve removing motor starters from electrical room and installing new control cabinet outside mounted on the railing. So this is for the same pumps that we just talked about. There are disconnects out there that she uses to start and stop those pumps, which they are pretty small pumps, but those disconnects aren't really actually designed to do that. She has no way of standing there and looking at the pumps and, starting them without using that disconnect. The start stop stations are in the building that's down there below. She has to go, to technically do it right, she would have to walk into that building, hit the start button and walk back out, which I guess if there's two people there, that's fine. You can make sure your pump is spinning in the right direction and there's no issues when you first start it up. So that's what that is for. High on priority list, probably not super high at all.
It's not the highest on the list,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
It'd be a nice
The
thing.
convenience
it-
thing.
Yeah, well, and it's kind of the right thing to do instead of using knife switches.
Well,
Back then, they littered them with knife switches are just everywhere. And they never, ever thought about having switch, to turn everything on and off. But they would have expected 2 people to be there. Nowadays, it's 1 person. So you'll go from the office all the way down to the tank to do it the right way. Otherwise, yeah, you're using knife switches, which they're just not made to do that. It's for an emergency.
What if I propose this? You bring back a list saying, well, we should have these within 6 months, these can be within a year, and these can be later. And then we can spend the money. How's that sound? Prioritize. Look.
Well, that's kind of,
Kind of what she's doing.
Yeah,
Bringing
that's
it to us now.
Yeah, but what he's
I
saying.
keep
some
bringing
people-
them these things, but no one ever rechecks, so there's, I don't know how,
So there's a couple of them that are listed as a must,
yeah.
I agree.
and a couple of them that could, in the long run, save us money.
So should we vote on the musts tonight then?
I think we should start getting some things started.
And then,
Yes.
and then look into if there's any type of assistance.
So if I understand
Grant or
correctly,
something.
it's the lift pumps that are the
Yeah.
essentials.
New starter for lift pump 2, but the description on one is. Better do it sooner rather than later.
That's the 1,200 and 500 one right there?
And then you were the used one.
I would say let's go with the used one and 500.
And then the pumps 3 and 4,
Yeah.
that's the wiring.
$1,600.
Yep, $1,600. Yep, I remember that.
And is that 1,600 is the best case scenario, or is that 1,600 is what you think it's gonna come out to?
That's probably,
That's if we
Yeah,
want the
those-
trench.
Yeah.
yeah, if
So that
those
could-
wires are in fact bad, and that is the actual cause of this. That's the problem, is some of this takes a certain amount of, digging into, which, I don't wanna have to dig into something for 3-4 hours and not get paid to do the digging, So, but yeah, if those wires are in fact bad, as the third party has said that they might be, then this is the best case scenario for fixing them.
Okay.
They might not be bad. It's not common, but it
So-
could be something else.
What do you think worst case scenario would look like roughly?
If you had a trench.
If
Twice
you had
that?
a trench out there.
That's anything.
Around 5,000.
But if that 3 and 4 fails and the city floods.
It's more
That's
than.
a, that's a cheap $3,400 difference.
Now, where would this money come from and what do we have for money in that pot?
That is a great question. I don't
Is this
think
something
we,
that could be out of any enterprise sewer fund? Theoretically.
We could do the sewer because we have our sewer fund for the water.
This wouldn't necessarily have to come out of general
Right,
reserve.
right. That's why you have those fees on utilities.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
We just need to make
for
sure,
how much was there.
yeah, we just need to confirm that, because we have to keep a certain amount in there too. We can't spend it down to, I think it's under 35%. And ABDA would be, I think the minimum though is,
I
we
think
can't go
it's
below 35, but
think
we
we-
try to keep it around 50. Yeah,
That's what we designed those fees for.
Right.
Build up enough to fix it.
Right,
Correct.
correct.
And that's something that we could, bigger ticket items that we'd have to have further conversation on doing. But if we were to do the 2 that are listed as a must,
And what's the
pump
next-
2,
Well, there's 3 musts, but yeah.
pump 2, and then pump 3 and 4. And then we did the boilers like shut off and didn't cook everything in the 120 degrees and potentially could save us money. And then
That was $400, wasn't
7 and a quarter.
7 and a quarter.
it?
And then
I'd say do the 580 at the same time.
and the 580, we'd be at
What about-
3405.
What about also that sludge motor for 230, 250?
That's a meter.
Was that, or meter, is that something
It's, I mean,
that you?
Well, you said you had to report on that?
Or is that something that?
yeah, I
you-
have to as a permit use, yes, you have to have everything metered and wrote down.
Control that and effort.
Yeah,
I got like
I would too.
32.
because then it keeps us in compliance.
36,
Yeah, I'd say all of
36, 37, 50.
The only other thing I would recommend adding to that, just to at least get it going, is that transducer one that I gave you for 5,750. Maybe not do that, but at least replace the.
The float.
Oh, that's right,
Sure.
because one's already went out, right?
Yeah, so she needs that so she can sleep at night.
Right.
And then what's a float?
The float, she might have, do you have a float?
I might have the floats,
So she
yeah,
has
it
a few
depends.
there.
Some are old style mercury, which is illegal to
Yeah.
use anymore,
Right.
so,
But anyway, probably
yeah. I
around,
might, they're usually like,
just replace around $300-400.
yeah, I was gonna say 375 unless it's went up, but yeah. And then if that electrical line in there needs to get replaced.
The question I have with that is we keep putting these floats in there, they only last for how long?
Well, you said 3 years, right? Roughly,
The
that's
electrical
what-
part is the worst, it's
Right.
under the water more than it's above.
So if we
That's-
spend the money, the bigger amount now, will we still have the electrical problem with this new system or not? Is it, we're
As
gonna
long
still
as
do
it
the same?
doesn't flood down there, which then, I mean, it's not supposed to flood down there, but it floods down there a lot.
But wouldn't that new transducer keep that from flooding and keeping that
Well,
underwater?
it won't keep it, it will just let you know.
It's just notifying, it's not.
Yeah, but then it's your job to keep it.
You wouldn't be,
Well,
She also services other plants, so if
You
you
know.
have to here.
you just have to.
Well, I mean, it would be her job to notify somebody if she couldn't do anything, and then we could do it, so it wouldn't flood the state flooded.
Yeah,
Uh,
you guys
contract
would
says
need a
that they have to have
training
somebody on
day
call.
out there, yeah.
Plus, you gotta be like.
Somebody, yeah.
People service has a duty in their contract, make sure that something's done.
I think if the electrical is the problem, if that's getting flooded, then we need to raise
That whole
that
piece.
conduit up.
Yes.
So that our cords are
Up.
dropped down for maybe 15 feet above the
Yep.
bottom of that building, so that way our cords are.
Instead of up on the wall.
Cause my theory is I don't wanna spend $5,000 if we're gonna have the same exact problem if we're doing floats. We gotta fix the main problem, which if it's the conduit and the electrical that's causing the issue, that's the part that we gotta figure out. If it's not the float, they're the problem. That's just my
We
thought.
could just run it straight down from way up above.
Yeah.
Just
That's probably
straight
the thing to do
along,
for now.
no openings anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
All closed.
that's the question. I mean, I have no problem spending the 5,000, but if we're gonna, in 2 years, have the same problem and say, well, it's because electrical, like, well,
And I think it's the environment too that it's in, it's so.
right.
You know, it just erodes everything.
What do other plants do in that situation?
A lot
We
of them
don't
are
have,
made,
this is like an original, I know.
they're all made so different and a lot of them aren't like ours. You're not walking into a deep dungeon septic pit, you know, most of them aren't like that. Ours is unique in that way, for sure.
It's more than.
Yeah. I mean, it works, the plant works good.
Mhm.
Yes, it's old. Yes, it's a lot of work to keep in compliance. But the little things are gonna start adding up even worse. So.
No.
So if we were to just add that float on top of what we already talked about, so that she doesn't have to look at the camera.
I'll still look at it.
Not all the time.
But you might have, a little more
A
backup.
break,
little piece of mind.
yeah.
We're looking at, we could do up to $4,100 if that's $375 or $400 for that float.
Alright, well, that's if the 1,600 isn't more too.
Yeah. I say we do.
Let's say we gotta start somewhere.
So do that, I said,
We have some big hitters on here, but we have to see if we can
Figure out what's in that,
Grants
what's
or
in that.
some.
There's gotta be a grants out there
There's
somewhere.
gotta be some sort of help.
Start looking, Josh.
Yeah.
But I would say move up to $4,100 for that out
So
of
if
the
you
enterprise fund if we make
You
it.
gotta change the electrical stuff, is that included in that quote that you were just talking about? The conduit?
The $300 some. No, but I think we could, for the 375, we could run those quotes going pretty long cords on, we could run it to a different junction box.
I was just curious.
Up above.
Yeah, and also replace the electrical debris route, all
Just in
that,
case I don't spend extra money.
you know, couple thousand, probably.
That's what I would say.
So before I go too far, just for clarification, install used parts for lift 2, $500. Work on wiring for pumps 3 and 4 for $1,600. Replace the meter, $232.50. Add a boiler thermostat for $725 and install receptacles for $580. Was that one of the items? Okay, and then replace the float, which was not a specific price. Correct. And for a total of up to how much were you guys saying?
2,500. That comes out to like 4,100 right there.
Right, but if he has more.
Has more.
I'd
I'd
say
say
something.
something
I'd say
like
5,000.
5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 grand.
'Cause
That
then
gives
you
them,
don't-
that gives, or
Easy,
some wiggle
no
room.
cushion.
And they don't have to email us saying that they need us to approve something overage. We can, that amount, then if it's anything over that, they're gonna have to.
I'll make a motion to replace all them items up to $5,000.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Dory.
Thanks, Lori.
Thanks, sorry.
Oh, can you repeat all
Yeah.
that? Oh, we thought you were done, Joe.
No, that was not yours.
Okay, did you guys see the year-end thing that I put in? That was the whole year of 2025. That was your gallons in, your gallons out, how many hours were put on pumps, things like that. I'm gonna start doing that for you on a monthly basis, so you can see how many hours are on everything out there, and how much water that we get in. Now, did you notice that we had 33 million gallons of INI?
Yeah.
Notice that? Okay, glad everyone noticed. But it should get better. The generator temp, we're still watching that. Those heaters on there, and things that come with them aren't the best, but I unplug it, plug it back in, and it seems to be working. GSS knows generator services, so
Is that a diesel generator?
what was that?
What kind of powers that generator?
That's natural gas. That's our
Okay.
big generator
Okay.
out there. But it's going fine. He said not to worry unless it drops under 70.
Is that something that's included on the contract when we bought that thing?
Yes, but you guys didn't go for the warranty, so nothing's
Okay.
covered, so. Yeah, I tried that already. I thought maybe they would.
There was a reason why we didn't go with the warranty. We didn't have enough money.
Right, yeah. I did more chloride samples in the town. That's part of our variance. I turned that in January 31st. And the surveys are coming back in full force. Did all of you fill out a survey? You did? You did?
Have not yet. I will give it to you.
Josh, Matt?
It's been a lot going on.
Come on.
I
Come on now.
my water.
Biosolids report, I finished that 12/31, sent that in. We are at tier 1 on the PFAS in our plant. We are good to go to land apply. If it goes up to a tier 4, then you would not be land applying, and you guys would have to pay someone to send it out of town. So we're doing good right now. So let's hope we stay at that. Homeland Security for chlorine and sulfur, I just sent that in. I did send the bill to you guys through email.
Yes.
I've got a
And
question
that's,
on that. Why is Homeland Security involved in that?
Yep.
Why are they involved?
because it's gas, explosives and things.
You could do a lot of damage with that if you knew
Yeah.
what you were doing.
You know, and if there's a huge accident, they want, you know, this is, you would call one of these, there's 5 places that you call if you have a major chlorine leak besides your own community. So they need to know how much you have on hand. The ladder and the trickling filter, it never came with a ladder, so I climbed down into the trickling filter. It's about this far down. The ladder never came with it. It was homemade many years ago out of heavy metal, hooked with a rope. The thing is falling off the hinges. It is completely rusted. I wish they just would have did aluminum to begin with. So I do have a quote for a small aluminum. It has to be put on with latches so I can get in and out of the filter. If I was a little taller, I might be able to get out faster, but it is a safety issue.
Oh, yeah,
I was just gonna
Yeah,
ask,
absolutely.
definitely.
Can you go in there all by yourself, nobody else around?
No, I have to go in with my gas meter
Okay.
and hope
No
for
one
the
can
best.
tell you that.
Usually I call someone and tell them I'm in there, and if I don't call in an hour, then somebody better send me.
So you have a ladder ordered or you're wanting? an
No, I
approval?
have to get the quote for it.
Okay.
Yeah. It can't touch the filter media, it's plastic. So you can't have a ladder laying on, I can't even walk on it. I have a certain area that I have to walk on because it's 7 foot deep. Plastic that you're, aerated plastic that you're walking on. It's not ideal. And the bar screen, to help with the garbage at the plant, I devising another garbage catcher. It's very simple. It's just a hunk of aluminum at a 45-degree angle. Nothing special about it. I'll have a rod in there. So I will lift it out of the channel, pull the garbage off, scoop it with a shovel and throw it in the garbage. I mean, you guys gotta get rid of, this garbage is, I mean, it's hot and heavy. It's just wrecking everything out there. So, and it is old style bar screen out there, and that's half the reason, but we don't have $600,000 for a new piece of equipment. So this little bitty piece that might cost you $600, it's either that or a whole new room. And I think that is a very good try to try first. So I'll be getting the quote this week on that. And there's no, it's just I just told them put a rod in there so I can lift it up, pull it off, and throw it. The hoist does not work still. It probably will never work in there. But so it's hand delivery of 5-gallon buckets from the basement to the top for now. So if anybody gets
That's
bored,
that's outside that we talked about.
way down in
there.
that room, yeah. So, but that's all garbage coming out of there. And sand, rocks, sticks,
Hazardous waste or not?
metal. Yeah, I have to bring it up, bag it, and then I throw it in the dumpster. So, but your dumpster is up top, so it's not ideal whatsoever, but it can be done, and that's what I've been doing. But we don't have $600,000 for a new building. Nobody's got that kind of money for that.
You're not dragging this stuff up the hill by yourself manually, or you have like,
I throw it in the back, I throw it in bags on the ground, I line all my bags up, I throw them in the back of my truck. From the back of my truck, I drive it up to the dumpster, get in the back, and I throw them in. So that's the only way.
You do that every day.
I try not to do it every day. 2 more years maybe of that, and then I'll be done doing it.
is there a way
But-
that we can bring like,
There's a hoist in there,
okay,
but it needs repaired. It needs work. It hasn't worked in many years. So there we are again.
Kind of
things
shocked, aren't you?
That never got fixed. And this is what is happening. So, I mean, you guys will really have to take the in-depth tour if you really want to see the fun stuff.
some of it.
Yeah, Jana's seen, she's seen some of it. But it's a work in process, so progress, I should say. So just look at it that way. A couple more years, I can do that, and then after that, this little lady ain't gonna be hauling bags. I'll have to find some high school kids to drag them out of there.
Good luck.
I know, they don't do anything either.
That'd be like detention.
Well, so-
Yeah, detention kids, the naughty kids.
Sentence to serve.
Sentence to serve.
I will be gone February 2nd through February 5th. I'm taking my Class B wastewater test. It's a very hard test. I'll be up there for 4 days. Cross your fingers.
It's not during flood season, so we're good.
Huh?
It's not during flood season, so we're.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I did make a thing for the flood season for the other workers that come here when I'm gone. And, I've asked them to follow it exactly how it says in my SOP. And, because I will find out if it's not done that way. So the map is in there where everything is at, lift stations, manholes, trash pumps, but as long as you guys remember, if storms are overflowing, storms are not part of my department. So the storms would have to be done by the city, and the sewers are flooding because of the I&I and the stormwater. So it's gonna have to be a together thing. Everybody has to work together. So, but I will always let you know when I go on vacation, but my guys know that I have a certain way that I want it to be done. So if it's not done that way, I need to know. Because I will find out.
That's terrifying.
It is terrifying. No, but it makes, everybody's gotta work together,
Mhm.
that's all there is to it.
Absolutely.
So I know it's
not
people
gonna happen
service in the
simply
city.
talking about
It's
it.
gonna, well, that isn't gonna happen, but everybody will have to work together on that, and I don't wanna hear any, whiplash from either side. So, and my guys aren't from here, they don't know where anything's at, so I made them maps and things, so we don't have this issue. Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
I'll make a
Anything
motion
else?
I was pushing you off the floor.
That's fine,
Thank you.
yes.
I'll make a motion to accept the wastewater treatment plant support.
See you later.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, maintenance and utility report. So,
Eric is absent. Let's see here. So, 7 blue cards were issued to residents this month. There were 0 shutoffs due to lack of payment. So the weekly maintenance, started the water plant updates and controls 7/1. Accepted to be on 9/16. I don't fully understand that sentence there. Tree removal is complete at the lake. There was 24 trees. They did a couple extra trees that were paid out on that needed to be removed. Yeah, there was, and if you go out there, you'll never even notice any are gone. There's that many trees. Put up the Christmas lights, and I believe they've already been taken down. New fluoride scales in at the water plant, and the ice rink is ready. We talked about the storm sewer jetting. Eric said that there was a little less work done because of the week that Braden was out. He was kind of flying solo, and there was a lot of snow removal being done. So those things were definitely the priority. And he's got all of his supporting documents for everything. If there's anything you want to focus on.
Motion to accept the maintenance report.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right, on to new business.
Okay.
27 for the new city chief, city of the New Richmond Fire Department.
Where you're at, speed.
Don't have any
Is
speech.
there an essay? Yeah. Shall we give you-
Can I get your other guy?
Should we take a picture afterwards, shaking hands?
I will be out here in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So should we take the picture now?
No needed pictures.
Yes, we do.
Heather had told me I have to take a picture, and I don't want to get on her
I
bad
charge
side.
a lot for pictures.
How about t-shirts?
All right.
I moved to appoint Chad Neitzel as the new chief of fire department.
One second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I figured he'd be the one.
He'd be the one.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Thought
All right, well, congratulations.
Yes.
Discuss a survey for the city, council determine if department's report in a satisfactory in this current form.
Just looking for consistency. There's, obviously life events happen, but there's discrepancies in who's appearing when and in what form the reports are being made. Just doing a survey to see if you guys are satisfied with the current form of the reporting, and then offer a ranked approach to potential alternatives, whether it be you see every department head quarterly, but there's still reports in writing every month, or if it's first responders 1 month, everybody else the next, whatever form that would be. But first of all, taking your temperature on if you're satisfied with the current form that it's taking.
I personally don't have a problem if there's nothing that they need approved by us, to address it, if they didn't have to report that month, if they have a set every other, or break them up so that we don't have all of them in one night every month and we're sitting here for an extra. Hour. I don't know, that's my opinion, but
And then they're still able to come if they need.
if they need something,
Yes,
then they
of
come
course.
and present it, but require them only to be here once. We're not paying them to sit here every month, just quarterly
Court or bi-monthly.
or bi-monthly
I
order.
kind of like the idea of the first responder 1 month and then like the utilities.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we could skip the survey if you felt strongly enough tonight about something, then you wanted to make a decision.
They don't have to be here every month, they don't have anything.
Mhm.
Unless they.
If they want
come in.
something together.
Still be nice to have the report every month though,
Yeah.
The-
so that it can be
it-
scanned and you
yes.
can give us a quick briefing of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, in writing would never,
Yeah, you got a point there.
True.
I mean, it can always be questions written down and addressed and sent back out to you guys for comment too.
That work for me.
And-
Quick thing.
How about a big ticket item that would need approval? That'd be just a request or?
If there's a request that Heather or I couldn't speak to, they would have to be here to make that
Okay.
point.
Well, what did we decide? Anything that wasn't budgeted, was it $1,500?
Yeah, up to that certain dollar.
Whatever that dollar amount was that wasn't budgeted and wasn't part of their day-to-day need in operating, then they should have to come ask for that first. So I think that's the question.
That's good. I agree.
That I would say. I almost think we leave it the way it is now, where they're coming if they need something, if they're not.
Do we want though to have a schedule, so it's not just, well, I don't know if it's my month to cover.
Let's
I
have a-
feel like
let's
it
have a
needs to
schedule.
be
Let's have,
somewhat,
develop up a timeframe and
And then
bring it
talk,
to the next meeting.
bring it to the next one.
and
then next week.
can do.
talk to them and see who, if there's a certain time that works best for a month for any of them. So it might coordinate with their state reports and everything, because I know water has state mandated reports that have to be done here in February. So those are things that we're gonna have to get completed.
And I think we should put it on the website too, so that if a resident wants to be able to speak to something, they can when they see it, if they see it on the website. So I don't think there's a hell of a lot of people who go to our website. But at least it's there for them to do if they want to. Say, this person's gonna have a report. blah, 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 blah.
That would be the agenda that's put on there. Okay, moving on to the next. Discuss adopting the Minnesota Basic Code.
Yes, there have been several issues that have been brought to me to address, and frankly, our current code of ordinances just lacks the teeth to do anything about most of them. The League of Minnesota Cities has come up with the Minnesota Basic Code with the assistance of legal professionals, and it's tailored to cities that are less than 2,000 people. There is a $880 adoption fee, and they have a roadmap for success on it with, the whole process, whether it's reviewing your current codes to make sure that nothing's antiquated or getting lost in the shuffle. They do recommend wholesale adoption of it, barring sections that don't apply, depending on what services your city offers. So that's I believe that it would be very beneficial to look into it.
Because we were kind of heading that way anyway. Because we wanted to
Do a review
have
of
that
it.
place over Mankato, wasn't it? Look at some of them reviews.
Well, there's
What's
Tony.
that lady that comes in here from there? Wasn't that what she was gonna help look at?
You're talking about CETA?
No,
Oh.
well,
The county governments, whatever it was.
yeah, Council of Governments.
Oh, okay.
We were gonna have them look at it, so this is going right down the same path.
And
Council of Government charging us anything though? Versus this is $800 and some dollars.
so Tony did touch base with me at right as this meeting was starting. Said that there was a updated ordinance draft, or like 50% was paid last year and 50% is supposed to be paid this year. Check with American Legal Publishing, as they'll probably have to pay a second time if we want something changed. Let's see here, I know that they changed over to standard numbering and updated language, but they didn't make any substantial changes to the code. But I don't know exactly how that would work with this yet, but the American Legal Publishing is a partner organization with the Minnesota Basic Code. So I don't know if there would be just a baked in cost with that, just because it's all they're doing is basically saying, yep, this is their code and hitting go. So I don't know yet exactly what that would look like. I was just getting your temperature if that was something you'd be interested in exploring.
Can we compare those two, your thing and then this thing, and bring it back to us to say, hey,
Like compare the current.
what Tony was talking about, and then what you are
Okay.
suggesting?
So what Tony was talking about was basically the process of bringing our existing code of ordinances forward, and having it sponsored on or hosted on their website. They do some basically legal grammar changes where it's the numbering of the ordinances and all those aspects.
Well, I think one of the things that we wanted is to have them on a webpage so we can look at them.
Yeah.
Now, is this place that you're talking about give us the ability to do that also?
So American Legal Publishing is who we are going through right now to quote unquote modernize our ordinances. The Minnesota Basic Code is also hosted through American Legal Publishing.
Oh.
So that's the same organization in the end that would have it on the website.
Could it be that if we spent the $800, we get the stuff done quicker?
That's a good question. I think that the things in the community would certainly be easier to do faster. I mean, obviously there's things that are grandfathered in, but one example, the golf cart trail, like we have nothing in our ordinances that would provide for, us to get an easement but in the Minnesota Basic Code, there's even an ordinance that says if property owners along the trail band together and put a sign up, it is a valid trail. So that would be if all of the owners are in agreement, okay, it costs us $50 for a sign. Like that's a huge swing from having to get easements and everything else. Then there's
When it says a comprehensive plan to adopt it, what does that look like?
so that would be involvement from council and administration and the police and everybody else, basically going through and looking at the code, making sure that nothing that's in our existing code is antiquated. So they give the example on the website of having ordinances about hitching horses on Main Street. Like this is a chance to clean up all the old stuff. and then looking for, substantial differences in what's in our code versus what would be in the basic code, because we'd have to, again, adopt the whole thing. So we'd have to be aware of what that might change for how we operate. Just looking at it compared to our code, I don't think it would change much. I think it would just make it easier for us to do a lot of the things that we've been talking about.
I'm good with looking into it further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get more information.
Mhm. Let's see here.
Next is the EDA grant. Are we still on?
Yes. Let's see here. Pull this up. What's this? There, let me open it. So I think this is the one sent in. Was it
Yeah.
it was the liquor store one?
That's the one.
Okay. So the EDA had an application for the liquor store and the building, I believe, to the north of it, to fix the entry door to the apartment, replace siding with steel, and fix the upstairs windows. Total project cost estimated at $5,350, requesting $1,500. Let's see here, and this is pictures of the,
Is that to the right of it? Is it
Yeah, it's
standing
the
in
dog
front?
next door.
yeah. And, oh,
Come on,
Does it
Josh.
got a stoop?
let's see here, this is,
Is that door got a stoop where you can sit on the step?
Yeah.
yeah,
I know what it is. That's why I asked.
Okay.
I think it's longer.
the pictures were not stellar. Okay, there we go. Yeah,
Take it out of it.
Overhang?
the overhang.
Overhang.
Like, yeah.
Replacing the front door on that one, and then,
Siding too.
yeah, Chad doing everything.
Okay. So it looks like they are requesting $1,500 to make those.
Yeah, EDA permit.
Do we just need to?
Make a
final
motion,
motion?
make a motion to accept the EDA grant for the merchant.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah. I should have seen. All right.
Okay. So,
Miscellaneous,
What's that?
Yeah, anything? Administrator's report?
all right. Gathered more statements to support Tina Wilson in the process of writing the grant for the flood efforts. Met with Doug Christofferson and Jim Kohler, the county engineer. We discussed the parking situation outside of Budox. The county position is that the shoulder was intended for parking and it will not put up signage. If the city wants to put up signage, that would be entirely up to the city. But again, would require ordinance things to get that done. Snow removal on Broadway. Discussed the friction between the city and the county over the snow situation on Broadway, being the plowing the snow to the middle and removing that. It costs us about, I think, about $1,000 every time we have to have the trucks come out to help with removing that snow.
On the
Isn't-
county road?
Isn't Broadway a county road? That's what.
It is.
So why are they saying we have to do it?
Effectively, they clear the road, but because of how the road is and where they can't push the snow to, like up on the sidewalks and such, it's less expensive for us for them to push it to the middle than it would be to try to have to clear it off of the sidewalks and all that in the process, and they're not shutting down.
Well, then why
Access
aren't you doing the same thing with Third Street?
because they can plow it
That's
off the
plowed.
side.
Yeah, but it's going on my sidewalk. They do that.
Yeah, but it's not going to a bunch of businesses.
Right.
So home business any more important than
But you have also a
a,
boulevard in front where up here, there's not.
and in all in essence, they're 3 foot, 4 foot from the curb anyway, so they're not doing what I
Right.
said they do. I bitch at them all the time. But anyway,
So one of the possible things that brought up was some cities have an agreement with the county to be compensated for maintenance for the roads, but you take on the full maintenance cost. And the net gain for taking on Broadway.
so
So
maintenance, explain maintenance.
So-
It's when it's dry in the summer too.
dry in the summer and,
Okay.
Storm sewer cabinets, the whole shebang. They would pay for this year for Broadway, it'd be like $3,200, and they have a $16,000 project going on down there in the summer down by Trappers that we'd be negative $13,000 if we took that deal. That's, yeah. So we'll just have to be aware in the future that $1,000 every time it snows is going to have to be something that we budget for.
That's
And it's,
cheap compared to the 16,000.
well, 16 snowstorms matches up with that though. So
Right.
that's
I mean, that happens every year though.
it's true. Then snow removal at St. Olaf Lake was a contention point this last month. I don't know if any of you heard anything about that. No, there was, I mean, it wasn't like an argument, but there was some back and forth about who's doing what and why they're doing that. So it took a little bit of smoothing. But it came to light that the county plowing snow at the lake access for the better part of the last 40 years was the result of somebody having a gentleman's agreement years ago and nobody not doing what was customary. And so in the last snowstorm, somebody realized that the county was doing it at the county and said, no, we don't do that. We don't even do it for the parks that we own with lake access. So they're discontinuing that. It was suggested that we either take it on as a low priority activity, so whenever we can get to it, or involve the Lake Association or the Sportsman's Club. The one exception is to prepare for the annual ice fishing tournament. Obviously, we'd make that a priority to be ready for that. But the county did say that if the snow got to be too much for our equipment, then they would, when available, come out and bust through the crust to make it accessible.
For
Your price?
They didn't say anything about a price. They just said when it was possible for them to do it.
Someone turn them in for doing it.
I think that somebody turned themselves in and said, oh yeah, I got this done. And somebody said, oh, we shouldn't be doing that.
It's very possible the county's doing the same thing that every city's doing, everybody's doing, is going through their line items of what they do and trimming things that are costing that they didn't know were being done.
Well, I think we should ask the association and the sorts of clubs to say
Yeah.
that.
And it's on the plan for Doug and I to speak with them and see if we can figure out a solution. So I was unaware of the truth and taxation reporting requirement to the state. I did report that to the county. Got a nasty gram, but it has been remedied. That's water under the bridge. There's no blowback from that.
There's no penalty.
No. We got in before there was a penalty. It was just hey, you need to get this done. Pantheon was on site, began installing their software. Need to communicate with the fire department, but we'll get that done. Local government aid came in at the end of December.
Do you know how much it was? 300?
It's like 280 something, but I can get you that exact number.
I'm curious.
So here, we're in the process of beginning the audit stuff. We have a meeting on Wednesday morning that I'll need a city council member either present or available on the phone for that. Already begun the groundwork for next year's budget, being proactive on that. Promise it will go smoother next year. And then we did have a emergency residential water shut off. Eric and I entered the home with the homeowner present, did an inspection. Eric believed that the issue was not with city equipment. Service was restored with a warning to the homeowner to further investigate and resolve the issue and advice on safe sump pump discharge directions, i.e. not towards the street.
You went in with it?
Yeah.
Now, can this be kind of a helper to that checklist that we were talking about when Remember where we go on their property and we do something, make sure it's done so that it doesn't just hang?
Um,
It's,
yeah. So this isn't really a situation like that, I don't believe. And we did come up with basically a release that we want to run by Jason Moran that
Okay.
says
and
if,
then you'll bring it to us. to do it.
yeah.
Okay.
But
We're on it then.
yeah, the short version of that though is that it puts the responsibility for water turn on the homeowner, that they'll be present at the time, pay the fee, and any damage to property or excessive use of water is on the homeowner. Yeah. So we,
I think that's fair.
yeah, so
fair
we,
trade-off.
it's not exactly a checklist, but it does say this is what you're signing when you say, I want my water turned back on. So, and that is that.
Make a
Council?
motion- Make a motion to accept the administrator's report.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Council have anything?
I do. Nobody else.
Okay.
I don't know how many of you guys know that I've been working on a project and I haven't included you guys in, well, I did you, but anybody else, because I don't want to do the fair open meeting laws. Because of this last year's and the years before and years before, it's taxing going up all the time, I sit there and I say, I want to get the taxes down. And up in northern Minnesota, there's a place up there, they did a plant like an ethanol plant, and farmers grow camelina, and they use it to help their crops grow better in the next spring, and then they can also grind up the camelina seed to make aviation fuel and diesel fuel. My proposition is get a bunch of people together, and I put it all out to state of Minnesota, federal, James Arnick, Tom Sexton, U of M, Forever Green, Sam Ziegler, Green Seam and Mankato, county commissioners, and a bunch of other people to say, hey, we want to have a meeting, get everybody together and see, would this be worth doing? And the second page of stuff in there, and the third page, is just a bunch of information that I gleaned off the websites and put it together to say, hey, here's what we got. And I've got probably 15, 20 farmers that are really interested in it. We can make a deal. I've got a couple of farmers cooperatives. CFF is interested. Cargill really isn't interested because they don't have enough farmers in this area that would grow the camelina to make it profitable for them. Because I didn't want to tell them, because I figured if they wanted to run with it and to take it down there, we wouldn't have a plant built here in Richland to take our taxes down. That's the main reason I wanted to do this, because the plant would take 15 to 20 to 50 people to run. They came here and buy houses or build houses, our taxes go down. That's the main selfish part of this for me, that I wanted to start this. And once this meeting's done, I don't want to be the person to keep this running. It has to be everybody helping with that. Because we're looking at TIF financing, we're looking at maybe federal funding, all sorts of things like that. I don't even want to get into the weeds, but I just want to let you guys know that we're gonna have that meeting to have people come together and let's answer questions, let's ask questions. We may just say, that's not me doing it, but we may say, hey, let's go.
This is a meeting that you're putting on, but not on behalf of the city, correct?
Correct.
This, because you have it on city letterhead
Yep.
here, so that's why I'm asking.
That's why it's here. But we have to be involved with it if it's gonna be a go. That's the thing. We have to have buy-in.
I know you have, it was kind of brought up at EDA before, to
Yeah,
talk to the
I told them.
EDA development at the county level.
Yep.
And I believe that, John, if I kind of name from the bank,
Matt Harrington.
had mentioned that he had gone to the EDA county meeting and that wasn't the right place to talk about that. And he was gonna coordinate with Tina to have a meeting with you kind of one-on-one first on what that would look like.
Okay.
So I think part of it is you need to talk with Matt too.
Yes,
on
I was planning on it.
But correct me if I'm wrong with everybody else here, we would, if it's gonna be a part of a city thing, we have to approve to do a meeting like this, correct? Or with it on behalf of the city?
I don't know, I would.
I noticed it.
That we'd have to, if we're a part of it,
If you have a delegate going, it wouldn't be like an open meeting violation that it would need to be put through that way. If you all appear, then yes, it would need to be that way.
Do you guys even want to be?
I will not be able to be there because of family, medical things that I will not be
You know,
able
so get the remote connection too. Well, should we just kind of forestall that happen, that if we say tonight, make a resolution or whatever, just to agree to say, we'll send somebody?
I mean, you can establish a delegate. Yeah.
Well, would that be me? Because
I
I
would-
would be in there.
I would,
Okay. Someone want to
You
do
got my vote, Jason.
For me.
that? And like I said, after that meeting, not say I don't want to be involved, but I don't want to be the person that is the go-to person for it, because that's a lot of stuff. A lot. And I know they'll come up with a lot of questions, you know, permits for making it, you know, doing. And I've also talked, and this is just me talking to the person, not anything to do with city council. Harry Budak said for the right price, he'd sell his property. Thompson said they'd sell their property for the right price. We have plants out there, it's in town, but that has to do with all the permitting, the environmental regulations. People coming in and saying, you know, an open meeting, and saying, I don't want that plant here, something like that.
Can they have their own sewer?
Yeah,
I
well,
don't want all that
See,
garbage in my waste
that's-
treatment.
Honestly, there's,
We'll
that's the
send
point
you
you
over
brought up,
the
because
edge.
Sam Ziegler brought that up today when I was talking to him on the phone.
You know, rocket.
That could send our plant over the limit.
Pollution control will be all
All
over
over
it.
this.
Air equality.
Yep. That's why we said, all that stuff has to be addressed.
Yeah, it's gonna be
this would be a very long process,
Yes.
and,
years.
you know, our infrastructure is not up to that level,
Right now,
but
but that's why I asked federal, state, and county to be involved with it if we're gonna do it.
the state's kind of busy right
Huh?
now.
See how the meeting goes.
so, Jody, motion to make Jason the delegate. Was there a second and a vote on that?
Would we request that Tyler be there as well to take notes and stuff?
That's-
Is that possible?
that's- yeah.
I'll-
I'll second that. Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Each other, aye.
I said.